used to believe that the worst sounds at night were the ordinary ones. The hum of the refrigerator, the distant bark of a dog, the pipes clicking as they cooled. Those noises were predictable. They belonged to the house. What I hear now does not. It belongs to me, or at least it sounds like it does. And that is the part that keeps me awake until dawn with my heart racing and my throat dry, afraid to even whisper my own name. I live alone in a small, two-bedroom house at the edge of a quiet neighborhood. It's nothing special. White walls, creaky wooden floors, a narrow hallway that connects the bedrooms to the living room and kitchen. When I moved in, I loved how peaceful it felt. No traffic noise, no loud neighbors, just the kind of silence that feels like a deep breath after a long day. I work from home, so silence is something I value. Or at least I used to. The first night it happened, I thought I was dreaming. I woke up around 2:30 a.m. with that strange sensation you get when your mind comes up from a dream too quickly. My room was dark except for the pale glow of the streetlight leaking through the curtains. I was just starting to drift back to sleep when I heard it. My voice. It was soft at first, almost hesitant, like someone testing the sound of it. "Hello," it said from somewhere down the hallway. I sat up in bed instantly. My heart started pounding, and my ears strained for more. The word had been spoken exactly the way I say it when I'm unsure. Same tone, same slight upward inflection at the end. I opened my mouth to answer, then stopped myself. I was alone. I knew that. I hadn't spoken a single word since I'd gone to bed. For a long moment, there was nothing. Just silence. I told myself it had been a hypnagogic hallucination, something the brain does when you're half asleep. I'd read about it before. Hearing your name called. Hearing voices that aren't really there. It made sense. I lay back down, pulled the blanket up to my chin, and forced my breathing to slow. Just as my eyes closed, my voice spoke again. "I'm here." This time it was louder, clearer, and unmistakably real. It came from the living room. I froze. Every muscle in my body went rigid. The sound had weight to it, like it had traveled through air, bounced off walls. This wasn't a sound inside my head. This was external. I listened so hard my ears began to ache. I could hear the refrigerator kick on, the faint ticking of a clock in the kitchen. Normal sounds. Real sounds. And layered over them was my own voice, existing where it absolutely should not have been. I didn't respond. I didn't move. I stayed perfectly still until the sun came up, staring at the dark doorway of my bedroom, waiting for something, someone, to step into view. Nothing did. The next morning, I laughed it off, at least on the surface. I blamed stress, lack of sleep, too much caffeine. I even told myself that maybe a neighbor had been talking outside, and my half-asleep brain had filled in the rest. I went about my day pretending everything was fine, but there was a knot of unease in my stomach that didn't go away. The second night, it happened earlier. I was awake this time, scrolling through my phone, when I heard my voice clearly say my name from the hallway. Not shouted, not whispered, just spoken normally, the way I'd call myself if I were trying to remember something. My phone slipped from my fingers onto the bed. I stared at the door, my skin prickling as if something cold had brushed against me. "I'm in bed," I said out loud, my voice trembling despite my effort to keep steady. "Who's there?" There was a pause, just long enough for hope to flicker in my chest that maybe I'd scared it away. Then my voice replied, "I know. I can see you." That was the moment fear truly set in. My mouth went dry. I reached for the lamp on my nightstand and turned it on, flooding the room with warm yellow light. The hallway beyond my door remained dark, the shadows stretching and twisting in ways my imagination eagerly filled with threats. I didn't sleep at all that night. Over the next few days, I tried to rationalize everything. I checked the locks on every door and window. I installed a simple security camera in the living room and another pointing down the hallway. I convinced myself that if there really was someone in my house, technology would prove it. Evidence would make it manageable, explainable. The third night, I left my bedroom door slightly open and kept the hallway light on. I sat on my bed, fully dressed, phone in hand, camera feeds pulled up on the screen. Midnight came and went without incident. 1 o'clock. 2. I started to relax, feeling foolish for how scared I'd been. At exactly 3:17 a.m., my voice spoke again. This time, it was right outside my door. "Why won't you talk to me?" The words were perfectly articulated, carrying a hint of frustration that I recognized instantly because I'd heard it in my own voice countless times. My eyes flicked down to my phone screen. The hallway camera showed nothing. The light was on. The floor was empty. No movement. No shadow. My heart hammered so hard I thought I might pass out. "I can see you," the voice continued, softer now, almost hurt. "You're shaking." Tears filled my eyes. I covered my mouth with my hand to keep from making a sound. The realization hit me then, heavy and terrifying. Whatever this was, it didn't need a body to exist the way I understood bodies. It didn't register on cameras. It didn't cast shadows. But it knew me. It knew my voice, my habits, my fear.